And now we are live. So we're brought to you by Motion Pro as always. Here we go. Nick is adding into the call. You there, Nick?
Is it not showing video?
No, it's just showing a loading thing yet. I was thinking that I was thinking of branding, and now it's going to be the emoticons train shots because kids love emoticons and train shots.
Yeah. Can't wait to take part of some training shots tonight.
We'll see. Where are you at? Are you at the office or are you at your house?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, yeah, I'm at my house because my dad took over the office. But I can't even do video. I don't know what's going on here. I'm going through my phone because I got new internet and it's worse than my old internet. So
you're using your phone internet? You're using the unlimited T-Mobile?
Yeah, but it's T-Mobile, so I can use all of it, but I just don't have much of it.
Right.
What's up, Austin?
Not much, man. Just hanging out, being a dad.
Oh, no, you guys can talk about dad stuff.
Yeah? Where you at?
Just, I'm in Atlanta. You mean,
I thought you lived in Florida now.
I was down there for a while, but it's just, I don't know.
I thought you was in China.
It's always moving around places. I never stayed in one place long enough to call it home. I'm living with Travis right now.
What?
I'm living with Travis Laird right now.
Oh, yeah? Cool. Where's he at?
He's at work. He'll be done in 30 minutes.
Cool. But then it takes him like 45 minutes to go home or whatever, right?
He'll be home at 10.
Okay. We usually do an hour and a half at least, so.
Yeah.
Figure out your video. We can't not have Macklemore on here, Nick.
I'm trying to do it.
Get beer chugs.
T-Mobile.
You were on there before I told you that I was supposed to call you, and then you hung up, even though I was just joking.
Well, it hurt, so I just hung up.
I've seen that, and then you wouldn't answer the call back, and I'm like, yo,
well,
I
then
think he's upset.
I got a work call, so I had to answer that.
You don't work, Nick. What do you mean, your wife called you? And she was like, hey, pick up
right
some
there.
Cheese for the kids.
Oh, you can't see her. There's no connection.
No, I can't see anything.
Just imagine it however you want.
All right.
I imagine she's sleeping, because that's most of the snaps I get. No?
It's bedtime over here, dude. Everybody's getting ready for bed.
It's later
That's
here.
a tasty beer right there. Going coastal.
He's keeping a GA for people on just audio. He's got sweet water. Going coastal. IPA
Pineapple.
with pineapple.
It's
Okay,
delicious.
so we have Austin Drummond on, and he would be like, if I had illegitimate kids, he would be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Ray would be my first illegitimate kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's already picked favorites.
Well,
Yep.
no, like I had to. His parents actually made me like they had a notarized note that said that a signed note that said that I could sign him into events because he was like 15 or 16. So I was like his guardian over the weekend. And actually,
10 years after that.
And the dude that you're living with is actually who I found in my backyard was Ray and Travis. And
He showed up and we're riding your yard?
Yeah. You remember we had those mini bike jumps?
Yeah.
So Joey told him to go over there.
Oh, okay.
So I showed up at like...
I was like, showed up?
No, yeah. I drove in at like... got there at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon from a show or whatever. I'd driven all night. And I'm standing in the kitchen. I'm looking out the back window. And they had that kid Blake with them.
Yeah.
And he was just going for it. And he's just crashing his dick off. And then I watched the other two guys. And I'm like, oh, shit. Those two guys definitely have big bikes. The way that Travis and Ray rode mini bikes. I was like, they definitely have big bikes. And at the time, I just moved to Georgia, and I didn't have anybody to ride with, so I went out and I was like, "Yo, you guys got big bikes, right? Or have ridden them?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "You guys have bikes?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, listen, I got a ramp not too far from here that I practice on for freestyle." I was like, "If you guys want to come out and hit it?" And they were like, no." And I'm like, "Just come out, bring your bikes. If you don't want to jump it, don't jump it." I said, "If you want to jump it, go and gear up." And it was literally like 3 minutes they watched it that. And I was like, what is going on? Yeah, did we just enter another dimension or something?
I don't know what.
Oh,
I'm
you
on
got
a phone and a computer.
I was just gonna say you got two things on at once.
Wow. I almost got sucked into the internet.
Yo, you lost the internet. Now you're just a little picture down here with me on the bottom of my screen.
That's all you see?
Of him. You're a big picture. But then Nick and I are just little pictures down here in the bottom. I guess everybody sees Nick's face every week anyway, so there you go. Stick your whole face right in there, and then we can see you.
Look, you can't smell my MGD breath.
Here you go. Cheers, boys.
MGD? That's not
trains. We're never going to know when to drink.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to get just an Emoticon sticker and just pop him up in front of the camera, and it just means...
Just recently, or just like periodically just hold it up.
I like this.
Grab another beer.
So, yeah, so those guys started riding with me, and then not too far after that, Austin started coming out. And I always tell, I try not to negatively influence kids anymore because I feel like I did that enough. So I try to be a positive role model. And all I go back to is Sturgis.
Ooh. We'll have to dip into that here in just a minute.
Yeah, but, you gotta ease into that.
Yeah, started out just an innocent racer, working hard in Georgia to make my way. Here comes freestyle motocross.
Whatever. He was the aggressor. He was like, "I'm fucking going." He would just go to shows with Ray and Kyle, and then next thing you know, he's like, "They're letting me ride." I was like, "Of course they're gonna let you ride." Yeah. I'm like, "You fucking just wanted to do it." Yeah, there wasn't any stopping you. I wouldn't blame anything on me other than maybe partying excessively.
That was all right. I just had a good role model to guide me through.
It's a learning period.
Yeah, you got to learn how to take those drugs, right?
That's right. Nick never learned, so he's scared of everything.
Yeah. You got to find somebody who's already done them and knows the routine. Let you ride.
And I know too many people that have. That's why I'm like, nah, I don't want that routine.
You need
to be mellow.
You need somebody that needs to be your spirit animal, especially if you're gonna take like mushrooms or something.
Oh yeah, you gotta have somebody who knows what they're doing.
You need a guide on that journey.
Yeah, and it's an amazing journey. I highly suggest anybody.
And but everybody says, yeah, I'll take you through it, and then it's like, no, I know you, dude. You're the wrong dude.
Well, I'm the right dude, so if you ever want to do it, let me know. I was trying to talk Travis into this last night, actually. It was hilarious.
Are you wearing a Garth Brooks shirt?
You goddamn right.
He just stood up, and he's got this. What year does it say on it?
World Tour, baby. This was 14.
14. Oh, man. I thought you were going to impress us with some 2017 shit.
You went from my hood to your hood. Chicago to Atlanta.
That asshole juked us out so hard. Alright, so we bought tickets for this. This was his going away world tour in 2014. It was supposed to be his last tour. So he did like a week straight in Chicago, and we paid so much for these tickets last minute, thinking like, we got to go see Garth before he's done, And the fucker's still going. He's still doing shows.
Remember when he did Chris Gaines?
No, I don't know who Chris Gaines is.
He's a
You
rapper,
know,
right?
Garth Brooks' alter ego he did for a little bit.
Oh.
Mm.
I'm
You gotta
thinking
look
of
it up
Kevin
because my buddy
Gates.
had longer hair. We call him Chris Gaines.
What was his alter ego like? Was he less douchey?
I never listened to. No, way more douchey.
Boss?
Yeah, he went pop.
Ooh, yeah, that's a bad move.
Yeah. Google Chris Gaines, dude. It'll blow you away. You're no super fan. You got hustled by him.
I legitimately got hustled by Garth Brooks.
I wonder if they ever do that on purpose. If they're like, "Yo,
Dude,
we're gonna make."
They did that whole tour was just a. Oh my god!
You found it.
You can't play it on here. They'll pull it. Oh, there you go. Oh shit! I do remember that. He emoed himself out.
That's
Yeah, it was weird.
You just put a little taint of something on Garth Brooks' image in my book.
The hustling you on the tour wasn't enough.
That's 2 strikes. One more, and he's fucking done.
I bet he wasn't even born in the United States. He was probably born someplace.
He has a British accent.
He's Canadian.
Oh,
That's why he went. That's why he popped up in Chicago. He just snuck across the border. Yeah, it was like, "Yo, what's up, everybody? I love America."
Be right back.
This guy's taking a piss break already. It's been like fucking 10 minutes. Jeez.
I need another beer, dude.
Okay.
I thought he was breaking beer bottles in the kitchen.
I'm back.
You're back.
That was just a quick beer run.
Yo, how are the trails in Travis's backyard doing?
Oh, good. I was ripping them today. It was a blast.
What were you on, that 110?
No, mountain bike.
Nice.
Yeah. All my pit bikes are fucking shut down right now.
Why? Because you can't fix them?
I got a 110 that's in Florida that it's got all the shit done to it, but it blew
That's
out.
why it won't run.
Do what?
That's why it won't run.
Yeah. The output shaft broke or some bullshit, second gear in it or something. So it's being worked on, but that's been like 3 or 4 years now, just sitting in the shop.
Anybody I know that like big board their bikes out or whatever, their mini bike, they don't fucking run.
My dad had bought that bike and a 50 from one of the guys he worked with, and they were like already modded out. I would have never modded the motors out,
No.
but it has like Marzotti's on it and Elka shock, and it's pretty badass. But it's too much, really.
You need to get yourself just a stock motor and put it in there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Or just a stock cylinder. Cars and shit like that.
Yeah, that's all I need is the cylinder. But I don't know. We'll see. I had that bad 50 back in the day that was perfect for jumps, but my uncle sold that when I was in Macau for those 2 years. So I came back and was like, sweet. You got no 50 now? All right, cool. Never saw a dime for it either.
Well,
how was Macau?
Macau was an interesting time in my life. It was crazy.
Wait, so that was the House of Dancing Water?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was House of Dancing Water. That was from 09 to 11 that I was there.
And Jimmy Berber, that was
yeah, he set it all up.
FMX Forever deal.
Yep. And that was fun. Did 2 good years there. Spent all my money that I made, along with every single person there. It's basically living in Vegas in Asia, but like 7 times more crazy shit.
Did you ever go to the KTVs?
Oh yeah, hammer drunk, seeing Garth Brooks.
So KTV is it's supposed to be just karaoke, and you go in there and you can buy bottles of liquor for like the same price that you would go into a store and buy a bottle of liquor, and then you rent a room.
I've been to all kind of KTVs now. In China, they're different than Macau. In Japan, they're different from both of those. In Japan, we were at one, and there was girls, like, we had, I think, like 6 guys with us. So they brought 6 girls, and every song, when the song ended, the girls would rotate one position clockwise. So you'd be sitting with some girl, and she'd just be, like, sitting there, like, rubbing your leg, and you're just, like, ripping a song.
We had the guys that were like, so the promoter that brought us over, Steven, his friends were with us, and they took us out. Like, Steven didn't party or anything, so they took us out, and there was am I drawing a blank on his name? The Australian street bike guy, that's over there that you were dealing with.
Oh, Samo.
Samo. And then
this one's out to Samo.
Yeah, no shit, Samo. He's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Samo's an Australian street bike guy that moved to China, and they were doing like these street bike lessons, like track lessons and stuff, but then they also did freestyle. So when we went over, the motocross track just had this big concrete run-in for like the ramps, and those guys did FMX on the concrete with us. But they were like the whole thing over here with all the fireworks from China, no bullshit. Like everywhere you stop, like these big trailers that you got with the all the fireworks in them, like, has got nothing on any corner store in China. Every single corner store that you walk into has like a huge array of like mega bombs, like big ass shit. So it's like 3 a.m, and they pound on our door, Samo does, and next thing you know, somebody opens the door, and he runs through the room to the other side to the window, and has like at least an M80. At least. I'm pretty sure it was bigger than that. And he lights it, and he throws it into the median in the road outside of our hotel. And it just blows up, and like all the car alarms go off on the entire block. And he just runs back out of our room and shit. And then we actually, you know how they have we were going from like the airport from Shanghai out to where the motocross track was, which was 8 hours. And you're on these like windy ass roads through these huge mountains, and then you go through like a million fucking tunnels, right? There's just tunnels everywhere. So we're going through this long ass tunnel, and there's construction in it, and this fucking guy is whipping those M80 things out the window in the tunnel. So it's just echoing down the entire tunnel, and then Steven starts calling us, we get to wherever we're going. He's like, you guys were throwing those fucking fireworks out in the tunnel. And Sam was like, no, that wasn't us. And he goes, I know it was you guys. Like,
it's so crazy because in China, it's like the Wild West, dude. There are no rules.
Yeah.
In this town that we were doing shows in, we'd buy these little, they're called CG 125s. It's like a knockoff of a Honda CB 25. Mm-hmm. It's like the most sold motorcycle in the world.
Yeah.
And all over India, Asia, blah, blah. So we'd buy these bikes for $100 used. And they'd run. They were pieces of shit, but it was just fun to ride them. And we had these mountains right behind the little beach town we were in. And me, Samo, Ryan, Logan, TJ Tiffany, when he was there for a little bit, we'd all go rip up these mountains, dude. And we'd be hammered drunk, just banging bars up these like trails. It was the most fun shit ever. But anyways, we'd be riding through this little beach town, passing roadblocks where the Chinese cops were getting unregistered bikes, like pulling people over. Uh-huh. And we would ride through with beers. We had cup holders on our bikes. And we would just hold our beers up, say, hey, and just ride right past it, and they would never do anything. We literally could do anything we wanted in that town. It was crazy.
The cops don't even, like, patrol.
Were, what?
Yeah, one of the guys in our show used to be, like, an ex-police chief, so I think he, like, kind of smoothed everything over and said, if you see these white kids riding around on motorcycles here, we're the only white people there. So it was like, people would stop you walking down the road. Photo.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you want to take a picture?
Yeah, that's how it was when we were in those little towns and it's a little town in China of like 30,000 people, and 20,000 show up to the motocross track. The whole thing is surrounded by people, and at the end, the announcer's like, "We're in our little strip, like where the concrete is and the landing and stuff, like in the center of the track." And the announcer's like, "You guys can come down and greet the riders or whatever." Yo, yeah. I don't know what he's saying on the mic, and next thing you know, I'm looking around, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're just, all sides, they're just closing in on you, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? He's like, the guy said that they could come down here, and I'm like, fuck. So they don't have any personal boundaries there. There's no personal space. They'll walk up to you, touch your face, like
touch you. No way.
Oh yeah. And we have facial hair, and that a lot of them don't have facial hair, so that's the first thing they're like, "Oh shit, man! Like it's crazy that we got all this face hair."
Dude, I finished the show in China, and they would let all the people come down for the take some photos, and they would all come down, and no shit, I'd be surrounded by probably, I would say, really 200 people at a time in a huge circle. They'd be all around me. So there'd be like 6 different families all in one photo, like trying to like rush in to get a picture. So you got like one family right here, one family right here, one in front of the bars, one in front of the bars over here by the front fender, like 2 dudes standing up behind you, like over your head, trying to get a picture. And they're all just, dude, oh, it's terrible. I was the last part of our show, so it was super hot. I'd be sweating my ass off, and they'd come up, and a dude would put his arm around you, be sweaty ass armpit, stinking like shit, smoking a cig. So he'd wrap his arm around me, and so his cig was just burning like right in my face after I'm done riding. And he's like, "Oh yeah, oh very good, very good." I'm like, "Hey motherfucker, get off me!" I'm trying to get a little fresh breath.
Yo, I actually ended up. I was standing on the takeoff ramp, and they actually ended up like, because they're trying to get pictures next to you, and they actually like pushed me off of the ramp, and then I finally was just like, I can't take it. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I just hopped on my bike and started, and was just like, "Wong, wong," and just rode through the crowd. I was about to fucking snap.
I had a lot of those days.
Dude. And even in our pits, we had this pit area. We had like an easy up, and they're just packed to the sides of it, just watching us. You know what I mean? Put our suspension on or whatever. Put gas.
I'd be chilling in the dressing room, and they're just standing in the doorway, just looking in. I'm like, "Hey, I'm half naked right here."
Yeah. No, they did that to us in the streets too, and in the supermarket. We turned around, and every employee in the supermarket was standing in the aisle taking pictures of us.
Yeah, they're not slick at what they do either. There was a girl at a coffee shop who took a picture of me just sitting there drinking a coffee, and she had her flash on. Yeah. And she didn't know. And it just lit up the whole shop, and I looked over, and she was like, like, "Don't worry about it. Just fucking let me know."
Did they show you guys on TV and shit? Were there commercials?
Yeah, there was a lot of advertisement stuff they did, but obviously I couldn't understand any of it.
Right, but you...
Very good.
How much was it Mandarin or Cantonese that they were speaking there?
They speak Mandarin, and Cantonese is more like southern China, and Macau speaks Cantonese. But traditional Chinese is Mandarin, I believe. And this shit's impossible.
I was just going to say, what do you know?
I know like 6 words, like like ni hao is hello, xie xie is thank you, fuck, Peugeot is beer.
I was just gonna say, you got no beer and bathroom.
All you know is Iga Peugeot, and that's one beer, and they say oh. No one speaks English, so for me, and the thing is like I tried to learn a couple like phrases in Chinese. But even if you're saying it and it's just a little bit off the tone, it's like you're speaking French to them.
Yeah.
Like really? I said like I can't remember what it was, but literally like it'd be like if somebody said like hello to you, you'd be like, "Oh, you're saying hello, okay." But they literally would just look at me like, and not even move to try to like figure out. I'd be like, this one right here. It was terrible. They have no common sense.
You think that's because like it's that different, or like did they not have as many foreigners? They're not used to foreign people as much as we are. Like, because we always have people who fuck up English.
I mean, they're definitely not used to it, but they don't give a shit to try. Even you're just along the. Oh.
My wife's friend teaches over there, teaches English, but she doesn't know any Chinese at all. Like, it's just like a lesson put on or something.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable that there's a lot of people who go over there doing the English teaching. It's pretty crazy. Apparently, they get paid pretty well.
Yeah, well, they pay big money to send their kids to those schools. It's crazy.
Did you eat a century egg or 1,000-year-old egg?
No, hell no.
It's not actually 1,000 years old.
They got the nastiest food in China ever. The nastiest shit. I will not touch half of that.
Wiggling stuff?
Dude, they just, in the gas stations, like, here we got like chips and some beef jerky is probably the gnarliest thing you find in a gas station. The gas station there is just bags of chicken feet, just one after another. Pickle, spicy ones. The craziest things, dude. Just the nastiest, just fat cubes. Oh.
Steven was telling us about, he was from Hong Kong, and first off I asked him, I go, how is somebody named Bruce Lee from China? I was like, that doesn't even make any sense to me. If you guys can't say R's. He goes, he's from Hong Kong. He goes, we can say L's. But it's the rest of the country that can't.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, how the fuck's this guy's name Ree? Doesn't make any sense. So he also told me about the hair thing. He said, if you have a mole on the front of your body, though.
Yep, they let it ride.
They let it go, because that's good luck. That's your lifeline. If you have a mole on the front of your body that grows a hair, you're supposed to let that hair grow as long as it'll go, because that's like your lifeline.
Some gnarly.
But if it's on your back, then it's bad luck, and like you can take the hairs out of that.
No sense. It sounds like a mole on the front of your body is a curse. Like, if you have to let it go, it's
good luck. If you have some big long hair.
It's wild. I'll be like in a business meeting over there, and there'll be a dude with like a mole on his neck that's got a hair that's just like this long. It's like, oh my god, dude.
Does he tuck it in, or you think he pulls it out after he gets dressed? He gets dressed and he like pulls it out like his chain. He's like,
yeah. They took this one out. I had this one for about 7 years.
Nick has no hair on his body, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
This is all fake, actually. Everything from my head is fake.
I got like the tiniest sliver of a photo, video of you, Nick.
I know.
Turn your phone sideways.
Oh, there you go. Oh, it's better?
Yeah, a little better. Didn't get it.
Yeah, I always thought that for you.
Now you're
like Clint, I ran up to him and I just touched his face because I had never seen all his facial hair before.
Clint's got him some hair.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And I touched the top of his head because I was confused.
Yeah, so
that's why it's missing.
That dude grows a beard overnight.
I know. My all the hair that fell out of my head, my back caught though, so it's fine.
It all got stuck.
He's already got the old guy jokes.
They just attach to my back and they grow out down there.
So are you riding it all, Clint? Did I see something you just posted?
Yeah, I just went trail riding with old moto pimps.
Yeah.
Dude,
that dude's like a urban legend. I don't even know who he is, what he looks like.
Pimps? Yeah.
But from all the Freestyle MTX stuff back in the day, isn't that the same dude?
Yeah. No, he's got he helped with that Unchained movie. Because he has footage from fucking old Gravity games and X Games and shit like that. Like he went and filmed all that stuff. He was making videos like way back in the day. He made something Delinquent, and so I mean he was around making videos forever. Obviously, yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't want to. Actually, my knee has been hurting sometimes if I run a bunch, or like actually if I run fucking 50 feet, my knee fucking starts to hurt. Like it cramps in the front.
Yeah.
But
well, don't run.
I know. Well, that's so. Then we hiked, and then it locked up on me when we got back, and then really wanted to ride the next day, and I text him. I was like, he's asked what I wanted to do, and I said, let's just trail ride, because I wasn't even sure I was gonna be able to fucking walk the next day, let alone ride anything. So,
dude, that's all I've been doing lately is trail riding.
I was gonna ask you that living with Travis, because
dude, we go out back in the power lines behind his house.
That's what I was just gonna say, yeah.
Oh, we just trail ride all day long. It's so fun. There's a gnarly river crossing. He's so good, dude. He's such a good technical rider. Yeah. And he'll be like, yeah, man, just follow this line right here. And there's like boulders in there that just send your wheel just flopping everywhere, and it gets a little intense. I don't like to cross the river that much, but he makes it look so easy that you're just like, well, all right, yeah, just gotta do it.
He is there's so many people like that are just nobody knows for general purposes. Nobody knows who the fuck they are and are just really good at riding fucking dirt.
Still so good. We went to the track the other day, and he's still like his style's perfect.
Yeah, and he's fucking super smooth and fast. He can lay down some laps.
Fast, real fast. I was riding with him, thinking like, oh yeah, because me and him used to race growing up.
Are you on a freestyle bike or you got a moto bike?
What's that?
You on a freestyle bike or a moto bike?
It's a Yamaha YZ250, but the suspension's super soft right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it's so soft that it's terribly soft. Like soft. It's worse than stock.
Why did you do it for the woods? What's going on here?
I bought a 17 YZ250 from this kid who swore up and down it had a kit. It's all nitrated. Go to pick up the bike, and it's not a kit. I could directly tell, and from the pictures I could tell. But
what is a kit? Because apparently I don't even know.
A kit suspension. For everyone who doesn't know, just like the works, not works, but just the good internals, the oversized. I think they do 49 mil tubes, and it's supposed to just be like the best, good suspension you can get. It's supposed to be amazing suspension. Right. So I got it, and the kid who told me, believe this or not, was Jack Sigismundi, John, your good buddy John's son.
We actually just brought him up because of the MXGP, which we'll get to.
Yeah, apparently he got jacked up.
Oh, yeah? I didn't...
He wrecked in the mud, crashed into some dude, broke his tib fib. Yeah, that sucks. So that's I like Jack. Jack's good dude.
So that's why he was 4 laps down, Nick.
I was trying to figure this out.
He goes, Sigismundi is any relation? And I was like, is it Jack? And he goes, I don't know. And I was like, I said, that's right by them. He's about that age. I was like, that sounds about right.
I don't understand how he got in, though. I could take a guess, but there's a lot more people, like, eligible to do that race.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, you don't have to do anything special to do it. Probably buy an FIM license or some bullshit like that.
You just sign up?
Probably. If you have a license, buy a license and sign up. If you have enough points to have an A card.
It was like, the thing that was weird to me was that there was a rider registration list, and it was 40 riders, I think, and he was one of the 40 out of all the people in the world and in America that would want to come and race that. Don't you think? Don't you think that you would have to qualify to get that spot?
I mean, I feel like
you knew the right qualify.
They'd accept
Now,
as many
don't
as.
get me wrong. I don't know the ins and outs of this, so maybe it's sign up and you're there and you qualify. Who knows? But I just saw the pre-event registration list, and I was like, I mean, it's cool that he was there. Good for him. But I was just wondering, like, how'd that play out?
Well, when I was watching the qualifiers, I saw his name, Sigismundi going through the thing, and then they kept showing, behind the starting gate, they had that elevated hangout area.
Yeah.
They kept showing this bald guy who was kind of jacked with this bald chick. They kept zooming in on his girlfriend or wife's tits the whole time. She was kind of jacked too, and I'm like, dude, I gotta ask Clint. I bet that's
Yeah, he goes, I think I
dude.
just saw John and his wife, and I was like, maybe. And then I watched the thing, and I texted him. I was like, yup, dude, they just popped up on there.
Dude, they showed him 5 times. Well, they showed her. He was right next to
her. Then there's your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there probably wasn't a bunch of chicks up in the paddock area at the time or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I saw decent looking ladies there at the race.
But were they in that paddock area?
No, but I never have seen an issue where good looking chicks can't get into somewhere.
I mean, that's true. They needed credentials. But they didn't have them.
Yeah. She was good looking for 40 plus class. Every older guy was like, whoa, what was that? And then it was she wasn't bad.
She's not a bad looking lady.
No.
Oh, but older.
Yeah.
I like Kim. I always got along with Kim.
So, anyways.
So, how about the race itself?
I had my daughter there, so it was a nightmare. We got there, it was hot as shit, and she was just not having it, dude. I put sunscreen on her, and it kept getting in her eyes, so she was trying to wipe her face on my shoulder, but I had a tank top on, and I had some sunscreen on too, and sweat. So she would rub her face just digging into my shoulder, trying to wipe her eyes off. But it was just burying more shit into her fucking eyes. So she was struggling real hard for a while, and then we found the Italian ice stand, got her in some shade for a bit, and loaded her up with some sugary ice, and she was cool.
Sugary. How old is she now?
She's almost 2.5 now.
Oh yeah.
She's pretty good though. She's just a little bit testy. If I tell her no to do anything, don't do that, it's the first thing she does. She goes directly to do that. And she'll do it 18 times. I'll be like, don't go touch those blinds, because I know she's walking right towards me. And then she just looks at me and just turns back around and starts clawing at them. So, I'm in trouble. This can be a hellion, but she's a good girl, though.
Do you feel like that's how you were?
Mm-hmm. My mom told me, she's like, Austin, she is a clone of you. You were the absolute mirror image savage that she was. I said, all right, well, I guess that's what goes around comes around.
Congratulations.
My turn to take it for a while. So, yeah. It's been
She's not a pushover. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, she's very stubborn, so get into some mixed martial arts here soon and you start jacking dudes up. First dude comes talk to her. Pow!
Shank him. All right, I'm going to pee.
All right.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
All right, we'll handle it. We'll get it done.
So you took a 2.5-year-old to Donations. Or not Donations, MXDN in Florida.
Yeah. Well, so this is the full rundown. We went down. I wanted to go watch the race. So I talked my roommate Travis into going down too. He has a 7-year-old daughter. So the deal was that we were going to go down there, go to the beach for a day, and then go watch the race Sunday. Somehow it gets finagled into us going to Orlando and going to Disney World. And then that was Saturday, and then the race was Sunday. So we got a bad boy hotel room in Orlando, go to Disney World, and the lines are obviously outrageous. So I didn't even make it in because we were in line to get tickets, and it was taking like an hour outside in the pure Florida sun, no shade, 100 degrees. It felt like it was just terrible.
Yeah.
She was scream crying in line. People were just looking at me, and I was like, dude, I hate to leave you here, but I gotta go. I can't do this. This is insane. And he was like, he messaged me and said, it's a good thing you guys left because we were in line for another like 2 hours.
No way.
Just to get in. And I was like,
Fuck.
yeah, I would have killed somebody. So we left, went to get some food, and then went swimming and just called it a day.
Oh yeah, that's way better.
Yeah,
I went twice, and the first time my daughter was like 2, but she slept the whole time, so it was cake. And like when you fly there, it's different because you've already bought your package and all that shit, so you get in. And the second time we went, my son was like 2 and a half. Dude, he was just bad. He did not he wouldn't. Every day I'm like, you gonna be good? He's like, no. And then like all he could say, he wouldn't put his shirt on. And we're on the bus from the little resort to the place. Like, you gonna be good? He just looks at me like, no. And he would just be bad. And if I picked him up, he'd cry. If I picked him up, he figured out by the end he could go, ow, 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 and everybody's looking at me like I'm wailing on him. All I'm doing is trying to get him happy.
Yeah.
It's ruined it.
And mine was the opposite. She wouldn't sit in her stroller at all. So I was like, all right, then get out. She was screaming, so I was so irritated. I just picked her up and set her on the ground and said, stand here then. And so she'd stand there for 5 seconds, look up at me, hold me, hold me, hold me, and just sit there, scream, crying. And I was like, oh my God.
It's 100 degrees, and you got to hold a 100-degree little baby.
Oh my God. Who's just rubbing her snot, crying all over you, and you're just like, oh my God. Where is my female counterpart at this point in time? You can't do that. You can't do that as a single man with a 2-year-old girl there. It's impossible.
Oh. No, there was 2 of us, and it was work, dude.
Oh yeah, I would need like a group of like 6 girls to go with me to be able to handle it.
Yeah,
because it's wild.
Little kids don't want to wait in line to go wait in line.
Yeah, we were waiting in multiple lines just to get in. I was like, fuck this. This is terrible.
That's for sure.
Disney dreams not happening today. Out of that one real quick.
What was the temperature there for?
I don't know number wise, but it had to be 90 to 100 anywhere in there.
And it was just 90 to 100% humidity.
And pure sunlight, just blasting you. No cloud cover. It was terrible.
Yeah, because after the first moto, because Tomac got the whole shot and then just dropped the hammer, and you could tell he just wanted to prove a point and win it. And when he got interviewed, he had his jersey off, and he was all red, and he looked worked. And I'm like, I even said to Bethany, I'm like, he doesn't normally do that. Like, he looks worked right now.
I couldn't believe how fast they were going in that heat that long. It was insane. Yeah. Caroli is a bad dude.
Well, Hurlings is pretty bad too.
Hurlings was badass too, but Caroli looked impressive.
Yeah.
Just so good.
I feel like he may retire after this, and I don't know anything, obviously.
That 10th championship.
Yeah, but I mean, Hurlings is going to be a hard man to beat next year.
He better hope Hurlings goes to America.
He just didn't, like the first part of the year, he didn't win anything. He was getting like 8th, 10th or something. That's the only reason that Caroli has that big of a lead. And now that he's got it figured out, man, the 450, I don't know. That sounds like a difficult task.
To be honest, watching Hurlings ride live, he looks squirrely, dude. He looked a little goonish. Really? He would come over like one of these jumps, and it'd be like all like awkwardly, like not like a stylish like turn up or anything. It was just like The bike looked like it was just in a weird position. He had his leg hanging off. It just looked ugly. And I was like, well, maybe he got cross-rutted. And then he did it like 6 more times. And I was like, okay, you just have shitty style.
Yeah, you can't blame him for
Is
that.
he tall?
He looked pretty tall. I don't know.
Figure that out.
He looked pretty tall.
I mean, the thing is,
That
we can't all
like
be
little style.
Yeah.
we can't all be Carolis, man.
No. And I never really had followed Caroli that much or anything, but dude, he looked good. Style was just clean and just hitting lines.
Yeah, I've been rooting for him because he's a fellow Italian.
Yeah,
He's way more Italian than
There's
I am.
a new kid, Justin Cooper. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Dude, he looked good too.
So here's
His
my
style
theory.
was sweet.
I was at Unadilla, so I saw him get that second.
Yeah.
So I was like, this has got to be some new kid, because it was it was a week after Loretta's.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is obviously one of the kids that just moved up. And then after I've been listening to the Pulp Show now that that Steve.
We got called out.
Stevens brought it up. And they were talking about the fact that they concentrate more on motocross over there, and we do a lot of supercross, because I'm sure that all the money is made in supercross here. You know, you're probably not making shit for moto, and nobody really cares. So that made me think, like, Justin Cooper's doing really good, probably because his amount of time spent on supercross is super limited yet, because he's been riding amateur stuff, which is all outdoors. You know, so he's probably still just been riding outdoors all the time.
Yep. He looked really good, though. Style looked good. Just looks like a good rider.
It's funny, like, how many of those kids came, which I didn't even hear about him before. Like, I heard about Faulkner and Cianciarulo before they turned pro. But I never even really heard of, I guess I heard of him a couple times, but it didn't register. They didn't talk about him as much as they talked about, like, those other guys.
Like, he was pretty low key, that kid.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird, like, obviously when I was still racing, I knew, like, all the amateurs when they were coming up. But now that I'm not racing anymore, I don't know anybody except for, like, the super mini badass riders that come up on Team Green that everybody hears about.
Right.
Jet Reynolds and Styles Roberts. And so it was cool to see him ride that good, though. It was impressive for sure.
Where's he from?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I was thinking maybe he was a Florida kid.
No, Hampshire's from Florida, though, and he was burning the dirt, boy.
Yeah. I wonder what his lap times were.
I don't know. He was hauling. The jumps there, they had this one double that when we were standing on the infield, they built like an extra lip on it, and it was booting these dudes on their, the warm-up lap that they do, the hot lap.
Yeah.
They were going so high. It was insane. And you can just tell that they weren't, like, scrubbing through it to, like, push distance. They were just coming out of the corner and just... But it was just like that dirt jump that you had at your house. Just straight up, dude. They were going so high.
They weren't scrubbing much on that track.
No. It's hard because they built the lips pretty steep on that track. So, and you've got so much speed coming into it, and it's such a steep lip that you can't, like, lay down a scrub unless you're hitting the brakes, too, because you're going to just...
And all the ruts, too. Unless I saw some of the places had some curved ruts on it that everybody was scrubbing. But if not everybody's scrubbing, if you hit that thing straight a couple times, that's it. It's got a straight rut in it, and it's really hard to scrub out of.
Yeah, just on the outsides, there was a little bit of a curved line, but, still, you're in a rut trying to layer down. It's not the safest maneuver.
Right. Catch your feet.
Hampshire's fastest lap was only like 3.5 seconds off of Hurling's.
3.5 seconds off?
Yeah, and Hurling's had the fastest 450. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, what, 203 something?
Yeah, 203, and in Hampshire was 207. Hurley's was almost 204.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know where he makes that time up on him. Just pulling out of the sandy corners, maybe on the 450.
Think about I wonder what the lap times differ at like a Southwick. Because you'd have to figure that'd be the same thing because you're definitely getting sucked into the corners.
Yeah, a 250F's not pulling out of that sand like a 450 does, that's for sure.
And none of those guys were doing that quad.
Yeah, that's a big change too.
And also that step on, step off thing, the dragon back, where Hurlings was and Caroli was doing it too, hopping up and then quadding off of that thing.
Yeah. So crazy.
That's what I was like.
That was a gnarly section. That was really gnarly section.
I was just thinking, like, this place is sandy. It's kind of ruddy. These dudes are hauling balls trying to hit this one face up onto this, like, 30-foot fucking little thing, hit it wide open, and then jump another 80 feet off of that.
Launch as far as you can. It was crazy because I've ridden that track before, and it didn't seem that sandy to me when I was riding it. But I think they hauled in a lot of stuff to get the track built differently. Yeah. But the big tabletop there, I was doing tricks on it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like they got some airtime on those jumps.
Yeah.
It looked like it was sending them. Like it rubbed it for a while.
Yeah. There was dudes who weren't scrubbing at all on this one jump. They were going every bit as high as a freestyle ramp. It looked like a freestyle ramp. It was sweet.
Looked like a fun track.
Yeah, it's a super fun track.
And it dried out really good too. It was like they got a lot of rain, right?
Yeah, a ton.
I mean, as long as you don't get flood down there,
and it's a really flat piece of property too, so I bet they were pretty worried about that.
Well, you said that it wasn't that sandy when you were there, and that's probably why, because it wasn't that wet.
Yeah.
At that point too, especially if you're like a low-lying area in Florida, and you get a lot of water, like probably a couple feet down, it was still wet. Like,
yeah.
So, Austin was talking about that dirt hit I had at my riding spot. I built like this 75. I went through a period of time where I built my dirt jumps like super fucking steep because my theory still is if it's not scary to hit the very first time, it's not going to be fun.
Not fun, yeah.
It at least needs to be scary the first time you go and hit it. You need to be like,
son of a bitch was scary.
Yeah, so I put this face on this jump. It was 76 feet. It was kind of like a little bit of a step up. And the downside of the ramp, the landing wasn't that big because it was like up so much higher. And you couldn't dig down any further. It was all like sandstone on the other side of it. I basically dug the whole course into the side of a hill. I just dug into it and then put jumps going along the side of the hill. So as you went up that section, the landings got higher because you were going up the bank there. And so the downside was only probably 10 feet tall, maybe if that. And it's like 76 feet. And the takeoff to it was probably, 11 feet tall and steep as fuck. And the landing's probably like 5-6 feet taller than it. And weren't you the first person to hit it? Yo,
I don't think I hit that thing anymore.
As soon as he hit that, I was like, I'm not jumping there.
It was insane. It took us forever to jump too. Me and Ray were making runs at it, and I was like, well, I'm going to jump for Ray.
Wasn't Brody there as well?
Brody was?
Yeah, he definitely jumped that and was doing like, I don't know
Big
if it was that day. Yeah, and he's doing like fucking one-hand indie to rock solids and shit like that off it, and everybody else was terrified. Austin was the only one jumping it, other than Brody, and he's doing like fucking big double grabs and shit off of it.
It was, dude, that was the steepest, biggest jump I've ever jumped.
How fast was it? What'd you hit it in?
Wide open second gear. Faster bike. Wide.
Off of another jump.
Yeah. It was in a rhythm. So you had to land off this first jump, and it wasn't the easiest to judge either. But you had to. The first time I hit it, I remember I kept jumping the first jump, and then.
It was dirt to dirt at the time, huh? By the time that second face was dirt, I'd already had a big dirt jump going into it.
Was there a jump after it?
So so there's like a 72 feet dirt to dirt. The takeoff of that one was just like our takeoff ramp. And then it landed and it went right into a 76 foot, but that one was 12 feet tall.
Yeah. Land, it was like a half pipe. Like
yeah, there was almost no flat on it. And then the takeoff to that one was like 12 feet, and the landing was like 18 or something like that.
Did you watch the Real Moto stuff?
I did.
Did you see Jacko's part where he hit that one super steep double?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminded me just of that double that you had. I bet it said that was the hardest image of that.
He said that was the hardest jump to time when they were talking about it. It was super hard.
But it looked like the exact same jump that I hit.
I feel like that one's maybe more of a step up. Like
it's.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see the whole thing, actually, now that I think about it. I didn't see, like the run-in.
Kind of like a mountain bike jump.
It was intense. I just remember looking up over the first jump at the face and just being like, all right, this is the one.
Yeah, he was just tapped off it. And then and I was just sitting there going, holy fuck.
Yeah, that was enough.
I was like, that was really high. And then Brody comes behind him and he's just all, and I'm like, fuck, dude, fuck that. I'm going to have to fix that.
Yeah, it was intense. I crashed on it eventually. I don't know if it was that same day or a couple days later or something, but you remember that?
Vaguely.
I did something and it sent me, like, cross-rutted me over to the wall.
Yep.
And I did, like, halfway on the wall and it just...
Yeah, like it was literally dug out of the hill. And on that one, the landing was like, here's the landing, but then the wall is literally like that. Like they're the same height. I think the landing was like 2 feet taller.
Yeah.
And that was it. There was a wall the whole side. So at one point, I had a ramp, a 6 foot ramp into a landing, full size, normal ramp, then land. Then I had a little dirt face after that wall into a 360 berm that you would sit down and go around and then jump out of the 360 berm down this little jump, and then I had another double into a dirt double coming back.
That last time period was pretty fun when you had all that new stuff built, the step on, step off thing.
Yeah. I think
the secret stash? Is that where that was?
Yeah, that was secret stash. I need a new secret stash. It doesn't look promising.
Dude, we should have made some awesome trails through the lower fields, through those woods there. It was so cool.
Eventually, before I moved, when that house got sold and I wasn't riding back there, I had a moto track down there in the bottom fields.
Ooh, I bet that was so fun.
Well, it was just kind of flat. It was still cutting in. It went all the way where Rocky had his. And then I went down across the, I went into the back. I cut it all back. And there was a place where the stream got really short. So I had to jump over. And then I went around the other part of the field, the lower, fields where the horses were. I came back and it zigzagged through there. And then it went back across where the main cross over the river was. You'd have to wheelie through that and then go back into where Rocky had the track.
That was such a fun time, dude.
Yeah, I think about that. That was a fucking living there and everybody riding and shit. And then all winter, everybody would come down and jam.
Here's one of Paul.
Yeah. Yep, Paul was there.
Oh, Paul Smith. I found a part in my van just yesterday that still had the ordering information on it. He must have ordered it was like some screws for the brake reservoir,
Yeah.
and he had ordered some extra ones, and it said like on the bag of parts it was like Paul Smith, blah blah blah. And I just found it yesterday.
I got do you remember when he was trying to make that aluminum bar to do like kiss of deaths off of? I have one of those.
You do?
Yeah.
We should do that trick for him. Just get.
You're gonna have to do it. I'm done, son.
What is this? What is it?
Yeah, so he made this aluminum bar thing that was supposed to get hose clamped to the front of your forks. So
It was basically like a little horseshoe that went up and connected to each fork.
Yeah, and you could like grab onto it and do like rodeos and shit like that. And he was like, I don't do bar hops
Did you
anyway.
do a rodeo?
I think he wanted to do like kiss of deaths off it too.
Yeah, he wanted to. Was that the? Oh yeah, it had handles on the forks too.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do, what was it called?
I don't remember.
I can't remember what he called it. But you like grab the front and like, it was so funny. I loved listening to that dude just tell me the craziest ideas that he had.
He said that the future of the sport was seat bouncing into tricks. He said that was it. That was the next progression.
Yep, that hit for a while, and then they started surfer seat standing tricks. I lost respect on that, and then
I saw you talking some shit on that on Instagram
You don't
one
like
day.
surfer takeoffs? I mean, I don't want to do any, but that's gnarly.
it's gnarly, but it's not cool.
I think I saw
Like
you
it does.
talking shit on it, and then Javier saying something.
Yeah, me and Javier, which I like Javier, we get along fine, but
Oh.
I definitely was a little bit of a dickhead in that, for sure. Apologies, Javier, for that. But yeah, that was in the point of my career where I was still thinking like, yeah, I can still flip and I can still make it up there and be a top dude. And
I think here's my theory on that. You guys watched me and Paul be head cases about flipping, and that put that into your guys' heads. Because
if we would have been around like Brody and Jack every day.
There's no reason that you guys are much more talented riders than either one of us. You and Ray are way more talented than either one of us fucking ever, and you guys are having mental blocks with the shit.
I mean, I have no excuse. I haven't fucked one flip up that I've done in the pit. And
you don't have any excuse. You just didn't pull the fucking trigger. And I've even been told by several people that you can just show up one day and rip your first one right to the wheels in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck is your deal?
Do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
I circle around to the dirt, dude. I circle around to the ramp to the dirt, and I look and I'm like, oh my god.
Okay, so here's the issue.
Delta man.
Yeah. Dude, what's up? What do you got there? Your Delta fucking pass? Look at you. You look official.
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Yo, if you guys fly in or out of Atlanta and flying a Delta, this guy's in charge. He's if your plane doesn't leave because something's fucked up, he did it.
It's his fault. I don't have anything to do with nothing like that.
Next time you're on the runway and it starts beeping and they're like, we're going to have to go back and unload everybody. Travis Laird did it.
Fucking Travis. Art ruined it. He got ripped the other day. Some dude was like, they lost a part. Travis delivered it to the right place and all this shit. And the email chain that like got started because of it, it was insane, dude. You wouldn't believe it. They were like, we're all gonna, as soon as he gets here, we're gonna rip it. We're gonna, what did he say? We're gonna jump his ass. We're all gonna jump his ass. And then Travis is like, dude, I delivered the part. It's right here. And the guy was like, we went to the shop. It's not there. And then Travis was like, I'll show you. And he went there and showed him the part and was like, oh, Travis is the best employee from Delta. He does so good. And I was just like, wait a second. Your last email was you were all going to jump him, and now you're the best employee ever?
Saves the day.
So if you know any high-end corporate lawyer suit people, He's got a suit on his
That's
hand.
right. He felt threatened and unsafe at work.
Yeah, absolutely. He's about to get jumped by a whole room of dudes just for delivering the part to the right place. Man, that's something else.
Yeah, America.
America.
We were talking about it. We thought that, you know how in Europe they have chainsaws and stuff and they rev them at the Nationals? We thought that since it was America, people should have had shotguns and they should have been shooting them when Eli Tomac came around.
That would be awesome. That would be very awesome.
Yo, you know what we need to plan? A big trip to a European MXGP.
I'm into that for sure. You let me know if you ever want to do that. But we also need to not back out on the whole agreement that every freestyle motocrosser made that I know, that we're all going to have a bromageddon and get down to any location. I don't care.
Yeah.
For Paul's memoir.
I agree.
Word in there.
Right now, I'm broke as a joke. So it's a good thing it didn't happen there.
When is this?
Well,
we don't
whenever
know.
you guys want to, we need to get it together. All we got to do is lock in a couple key names that I think will help pull everybody else there.
I mean,
you
I
get
think...
Audacious.
Okay. We're just going to have to go old school amateur contest style and just plan it for like November, December when nobody has shit going on, and like the original Get Out of the Cold Jam.
That was, dude, how cool was that contest at Durham too? No, you were really pushing the forefront of awesome freestyle motocross.
What the one?
But because we were East Coast, we just got no love.
The first one that we did at Durham where we had the freestyle park, and then we had the dirt where we made the supercross track into a freestyle course. Yeah, that was rad.
Dude, well, let's take it a step back. How about the initial?
I know. That's what I was originally talking about. Yeah. Dude,
that one was so sick.
Nick, we went to Bremen and turned half of the track into a freestyle course. Like they had like an 80-foot tabletop.
No, 90. That's the 90.
Okay. I think
everybody in Georgia goes, "Hey, you jumped the 90? You jumping the 90?"
So they had a big tabletop on the track. So we went there, and actually it was Paul and I went there, hopped in machines, and just started peaking everything up. So we added like 3-4 feet on the face of that fucking on the and 90.
You added 3 or 4 feet on the landing too, so it made it like a a little shelf. You had to clear that
a little double, yeah. And I had jumps into it, so it was like there was a berm that was on the track, and we turned that berm into a face, and we had like 2 jumps going into that jump, and then you turned around, you had a ramp coming back, and then you went back up, like jumped a little jump, turn, jump something, like 2 setups and hit the big one.
Fun contest.
Yeah.
That was my first like entry into freestyle. I saw racing numbers on.
That's
how I met Clint. How I got into anything. Same thing. I had racing numbers. I went to Durham. I don't know what year it was. It got rained out. Well, I thought it was going to be rained out, so we practiced. Then it poured all night, so we drank all night. And we're like, we're not doing that contest tomorrow. And then we never made it back to Durham. But then we went to Dan's in Texas.
You know who showed up to the one at Bremen? Do you remember? Who showed up in a minivan?
Dudes.
In a minivan with his McGrath jersey on?
Oh, Paris Rosen.
That later went on to do the front flip. He shows up. Me and I want to say Paul. It was Paul or Travis. Somebody and I were all the way in the back of the fucking property on the track, smoking in his truck, and this little minivan, a red minivan, just comes bebopping across the field, right? And then they're like in this on the road, and then all of a sudden they just We're like, we're good. Next thing you know, they just huck a left off of the road and come directly at us, and I'm like, fuck. So I pop out of the truck, and I don't even think actually we got out of the truck. I think he just walked up to us so fast. He was like, hey. And we're like, what's up? And he's like, I'm here for the contest. And we're like, oh, sweet. Where's your bike at? And he goes, it's in there. And he's got like a old Honda 250. And we look, and it's just laid down in the back of the minivan. He just put it in the minivan, has it laid down on the floor.
Nope. There.
Has no visor on his helmet. Has like an old ass McGrath, No Fear McGrath jersey on with some pants that didn't match him or whatever. And was fucking loving life.
This is a little trivia. Who else was there that was a style king?
Austin Drummond?
No, dude, I'm talking about Paris Rosen style king.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't his name Jake?
Who?
The dude, John Deere, rode in a John Deere sweatshirt. He bought one of the Durhamtown ramps. You remember? Styles.
Oh, is that his first name, Jake?
No, it's the last name. Yeah, Jake Styles, I think, is his name.
Yeah, he was like a army dude or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, dude. He would tell me at Durhamtown. He goes, "Man, I made a new trick." And I was like, "What is it, dude?" And granted, this dude's a just beginner, so I'm thinking like, okay, cool. You did something, heel click or something. So he dips religiously. So he said, I jump in the air and I spit and don't get it on my helmet or my bike. That's my trick. And I was like, dude, you should take that to X Games. That is sick.
Take that to Skull. Get a commercial.
I think he was talking about that. Like, I should message one of these tobacco companies. I was like, do it, dude. You got it.
Hit him up on their space.
Wait, so is this for real? Like, he really did that?
I swear to God, I'm not bullshitting. This is not a made up story. He really
said that. But I mean, could he really spit and not get it on him anywhere?
Clint's worried about facts here. Like, is that real?
I mean,
that's the real
what
trick.
are the logistics for this? I mean, I'm thinking the logistics, because wind's blowing.
Very slim of you getting out of your helmet.
Exactly. And not get yourself at the same time. I don't know.
Oh.
Who's got an attack dog?
All right, I gotta pee, and I think someone's here. I'll be right back.
Is that Randy?
Here. Watch Christy grade papers. It's not teachers grade papers.
Oh.
I don't see anybody there.
It's just her beer, apparently.
It's just a beer. A beer grades papers. Cool. Wish I would ask you.
What did you ride in China? Honda?
I can't even hear hardly now. It was mayhem for a second. What was it?
Mayhem. What did you ride in China?
YZ250.
You went back?
Yeah, I'm 252 stroke man now.
Yeah. What do you think about? You wouldn't rather ride a 4-stroke or what?
I think I would definitely like to. The 2-stroke for freestyle is just so easy.
You say that, but I mean, you rode a 4-stroke. I only rode a 4-stroke for the very end of my career, and I was like, why didn't I do this way before?
Yeah, for you needed a 450.
My style,
and to be honest, everything about a 450 is better than a 252 stroke. The traction you get, the power you have.
Yeah.
Everything.
The first show I rode.
Not gas.
The first show, yeah, exactly. The first show I rode the only drawback is when they blow up, it's like $1,500. But the first show I rode was in an arena, dirt on polished concrete. The dirt kept breaking off on the edge, and now it's becoming like dust on the polished concrete. So they don't want dust, so you know what they do? They take the fucking hose and spray it. So so now there's you know, muddy,
Full slick right there.
just a very fine layer of mud on top of polished concrete where we're turning, and then we're getting onto the dirt, which is like Play-Doh. And I'm on the 450, and I just went. Yeah, and I'm like, if I was on a 252 stroke, I would have been clutching not to spin. Then when I got into the dirt, I would have been clutching to get the thing to wind up. And all I did was roll the throttle on.
What's up?
We can't see who we
This
got
is Big
there.
Mike. He escaped the Air Force for like a week. He was at Casey when you had that Casey contest.
I can't see. Put your face up against the camera.
Yeah, bro. Scoot it in. Get in
What's
on it.
up? Hey, guys.
You guys twins?
He's like 2 feet taller than me.
Well, we can't tell.
He didn't ride, but he was there.
Well, shit, yeah.
Part of my posse that came with him.
I like the 450s a lot, dude, to be honest. It's a better machine for sure. But, I don't know. When I got back from China the last time, I went to go do some shows with J-Ro, and I had just gotten back, so I didn't have a bike yet. And so I rode one of his buddy's KTMs, and I loved it. It was amazing. But last jump of the show, I went to KOD and just got that, didn't get the pop, and just nosedived. But I'd already committed to like fully jumping forward, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it just made me nosedive so hard. So I had to jump off and landed and tore my ACL and jacked my knee up and broke my foot pretty bad. And since then, I was like, man, you know, is it the 4-stroke that made that happen? Or just, you know, shitty timing on a super steep ramp? It was off his super kicker ramp he had.
I didn't ever ride that one, I don't think.
You never rode that ramp?
I don't think so. I never, after the IFMA.
Yes, you did. You had to have rode that ramp. Jason Rose, original ramp.
I didn't ride a bunch of, maybe.
Oh, I rode it because he told me about how poppy it was.
That son of a bitch is poppy.
Told you?
You what?
I told you how poppy it was, Nick?
Oh, Jason was telling me. We did a show where you go down on like this, it was a football field. And you rode on the AstroTurf or whatever. And he's like, this thing's poppy. And he's telling me how the militia dudes rented it. And they're like, no, we just do 75 feet. Jason's like, don't do it. And he said they clipped it. Because then I got up into like third gear on my 250F. And then I switched down like halfway through. But yeah, it was like, that's kind of how my ramp is though. Not as bad as Jason's though.
It's, you know what's crazy? And it's really weird that it's like this in America. In America, every dude has their own ramp. It's their own bend. Their landings are completely different. So weird. Like, none of them are built really super safe. And then you go to like Europe and Australia, and everything, like all the takeoff ramps are the same, 8-meter or Aussie comp ramp. And
They're a bunch of conformists.
So much fucking sense. Weird.
They just want to be told what to do in jumping meters. We won't have it. We want shotguns for our sideline noisemakers, and we'll just make our own ramps.
It's called freedom, Austin.
Yeah, freedom. I'm going to make my own goddamn ramp.
Well, that's what Kenny Bell asked me.
Everything.
He says about us bumping ramps, and I'm like, yeah, because I've ridden 10 ramps that are nothing alike, that are Rev 3.
Nothing's the same.
Now, I'll probably admit that California probably has a little bit more
standardized ramps.
But East Coast, dude, every show that we used to go do was a different takeoff to a different landing. Every single one of them.
Yeah, sometimes it would change from night to night.
With Paul Smith, like, all the time, and we were riding, obviously, his exact setup because it has to be his perfect way.
He would take his takeoff ramp just for free so that he didn't have to ride yours.
Mm-hmm. And, dude, if you didn't fold it out the right way, if you folded the bottom panel before the top one, you're fucked.
Yeah, that's right. That's not how you do it.
Yeah, it's all about how you set it up too. You got to get the phone out to get the proper angle. It was serious, but it made me feel comfortable because I was like, well, I know exactly what I'm jumping. So,
Yo, one time we were at an IFMA or ramp to ramp IFMA, and the front of the ramp broke on one of them. So like the little front pieces fucking flopping around. And this is during intros. I see it as I'm like, there's a bunch of us hitting it.
yeah.
And I look and I'm like, that thing's broken. Somebody hits it in front of me and I like see it flopping around. So I'm like, that thing's broken. So I run out there with tie downs, like tie straps to fucking, and like maybe some zip ties or something to like fix it.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one out there, like, laying down, strapping it together. And I look back at the tunnel, and Hartman and everybody's just staring at me. And I run over, and I was like, doesn't anybody want to fucking make sure that I fucking put it on there right or whatever? And Greg's like, well, you're way more cautious than I am. I figured if you were good with it, I was good with it.
That's how it was with Paul. If Paul was good to jump it, I knew that it was somewhat safe.
It was pretty straight.
Yeah. Oh, it's dead on straight with Paul. Somebody was just locked in. Laser.
I met him one time, and I'd like talk to him online and stuff. I met him one time, so I knew how he was about stuff. And he was at like our local track, and of course he had his takeoff and all that, everything laid out. So when I got there, I just asked him, I'm like, what are you hitting it? What is it? He's like, oh, just follow me. And then I didn't even know him, but I knew him enough that like I was confident because I'd heard enough about him.
Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. I just have so many funny memories of Paul and all the shows we did with you and Sturgis.
There you go.
We can dive into Sturgis now. This seems like a good time to hop into Sturgis.
Yeah.
Relive that moment.
Do you remember who went in the box fan to hook up with a chick? Kyle? And then Paul in my box fan, and then Paul flipped out because he was sleeping in there?
Hold on. Here we go. I'm back. Oh, no, I'm not back.
Yeah,
What's
you
going
are.
on?
We can hear you.
Hold on. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, we see you.
Sorry, my ex-girlfriend who I'm kind of on rocky terms just tried to FaceTime.
Dump her. Twice.
All right. I'll do it on cam.
So Paul flipped out, right? We were staying in my RV trailer, and everybody was wasted all week slamming the door, and he finally freaked out and fucking stormed out of there and went and started sleeping in the box fan up in the top of it. And then finally somebody needed a place to go hook up with a chick, and they ended up going out there to the box fan, and then they walked back over, and Paul's like, they said they went to the box fan or something, and then Paul started flipping out because that was his place and all this shit.
He was so mad that they went to bang in there.
All of his blankets are in there and stuff. He was mad for seriously like a day about that shit.
Oh, yeah, so mad. Dude, it was so funny. Like, I remember the one night we just were like, I think you were like, oh, let's do a shot. And you, of course, had Jim Beam. So
are you talking about before the show?
Yeah.
Okay,
So then,
go ahead. Let's get your take on this. Let's get your take on this.
Do a shot. Clint's like, okay, I'll do another one.
No.
I forget how it went, to be honest.
No, I'm like,
it's
it's Sturgis. It's the last show of the day. I said we're gonna take a shot, so we passed the Jim Beam ball around. Everybody swigs it. Then Austin grabs it back out of my hand and starts slugging some more. And I was like, hey, you better settle down. And you're like, fuck that shit. So we ride the whole show. And we get done with the show. And I just see Austin go across the field, like at the landing, and he's ripping his, like, as he's across the field wide open, he's trying to undo his helmet, and I'm like, well, that's unusual. I don't wonder what's going on there. So I get over, and he's just By the time I get over to the truck, and I'm like, did you just fucking throw up? Yeah. I go, were you that drunk while we were riding? And he was like, uh.
And then we were so drunk continuously for the rest of the week that we did one show, and I decided to ride with no shirt that show for some reason. Ate shit. I went to do a seat grab Cordova, and my feet came unhooked. And I just was flailing in there, had no idea where I was. Landed halfway on the bike and just ragdolled, skinned the whole underside of my armpit. And then I finished the show, and or I didn't finish the show. I ate shit. I did not finish the show. I pulled over to the side, started taking my helmet off. Biker dude walks up to me. Looks like you could use a joint, man. Passed me. I was like, thanks, dude.
Dude,
I was Guyana when I missed that landing. That Jamaican guy's like, hey, you want to whip for the reefer, man? And I fucked my back up so bad. I was like, no. Because if I cough, I think I'm going to be paralyzed. I was so scared. I broke my back. I was terrified.
Yeah.
We were, I was driving down into town in like the Sturgis, like the Buffalo Chip Town area. And I see these dudes on a bike. And he starts coming around the corner. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's Austin. And he's got a pizza in his lap. And he clips something where it like goes to turn and he just loses the front end. And just as I'm riding by him, I'm literally almost right next to him. And he just slides out. Pizza, fucking box flips open. The whole pizza comes out.
Dump a whole first pizza out in the dirt.
Those are the saddest people ever watching that pizza go down.
I don't know. I realized that was our pizza, but I was still extremely entertained by catching that. Do you remember when I tried to do that burnout and then fucking ended up
smash right into that car? Hooked up. Oh,
I'm outside. We just got done riding. We're drinking whiskey and shit, and everybody's in front of the RV. And I hop out, and I hop on my bike, and I just start it, and I just go to do a burnout, and I'm roasting the back tire, and all of a sudden it hooks up. And it just loops out on me, and there's like a Jeep like right next to us, and I'm like, stay off the Jeep, stay off the Jeep. And I like, as I set my front wheel down, I caught my handlebar on that little tire mounted on the back of it, and like I whipped to the ground and shit.
It was such a good time, dude. It's so fun. The hill climb shit. Then your boy Jimmy Blaze. You remember that when he tried flipping they were getting ready for some show over there. I don't know if we rode it too. I don't remember.
No, that Nitro hill climb thing.
Yeah. And so he was flipping his sled. So they were setting the ramp up or doing something with the landing, and I think we were helping for some reason. And I just remember looking at him, and like this asshole was standing on the side, like in a pair of jeans. I don't think he had a shirt on either. He was just standing there watching us, and I was like, "Are you gonna come in and help or something?" He goes, "Bro, these are $300 pair of jeans. I'm not getting them dirty."
That was Jimmy Blaze?
Oh, what's up, Blaze?
Yo, so I didn't even know that happened. But later, after our show, Regan Sieg comes up to me, and I'm like, oh, sick. And he goes, yeah, hey, I said something like to introduce myself, and he goes, oh, yeah, we're doing the real freestyle show across the street. And I go, what? And he's like, we're doing the real freestyle show across the street. And I was like, what's the difference? Like, you guys do backflips? I'm like, that's about the only difference here.
Fist fight right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just fucking hit
They
him.
had a huge mulch landing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Flips? I said, that was before I was flipping. And I was like, that's about it. And he said something about manual to nose wheelie in the landing or some shit like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just walked away.
Yeah, and so then Jimmy goes to do his fucking one jump of the show, his flip, and just under rotates and stacks it. And I was like, how's those $300 pants treating you, douche? I was laughing my ass off. Then Knievel comes out to do his show.
Yeah, they make us break down our whole setup and move it out of the way. And then they put Robbie Knievel's ramps like in the road, and they're only like
40 feet longer than
not
ours.
even, dude. I paced it off. He was jumping like 90. So he's
But
like,
to be fair, he was
20 feet.
he was twice as drunk.
Yeah, yo, but he came from 17 times as far.
From
he
the
literally
woodwork downhill too.
On a 500. He came from outside of the little western town and come all the way into the town down the hill on a 500, and his landing was literally 8 feet tall. I rode up in my sneakers and acid dropped off of the top of the landing on my bike.
You should have just poached it. Just gone long.
We were making runs at it, and they shut us down real quick.
Yeah.
They put cones in front of everything.
Just put on a shitty, like, red, white, and blue leather suit, and then just poach it.
That would have literally been the most epic thing ever.
Like, wrap you up in paper and then just color it red, white, and blue. And
Dude,
then just...
that night later, it was so funny this happened that night too, but after he jumped, I don't know what was going on, but there was a big crowd down by the landing, and I don't know who was with me. I was hammered for sure, and went up behind like this group of people, and this lady was showing everybody her tits. So she kept fucking tits out for the boys, and I was like standing behind her. So she did it, and everybody was taking pictures and yelling, and I reached up behind her and grabbed her tits. She turned around, dude, and clubbed me with her arm. I just saw stars instantly. I was like, whoa. I literally was close to getting knocked out by this lady. Just a big-ass biker chick with huge fake titties. So close to getting knocked out. Then me and Clint went for a drag race down some back field, and neither one of us would shut off. And I left it on just too long, couldn't get stopped, and had to slide her into a fence, a chain link fence. You remember that?
I do
wide
remember
open
that.
through a big ass field, and I was like, "I'm not letting Clint beat me. I'm not letting Clint beat me."
I remember being like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit that fence right now, and he's still on it.
I looked up and I was like, "Yeah," and then looked up and the fence is right there. And I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I'm already on the brakes. He's still wide open. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm hitting the fence, and he's still full steam.
I nailed it. I had to let her down. Yeah, those were good times.
Good times.
Were you in Puerto Rico? Was it Puerto Rico?
No.
With Sean Connors? I think you were.
No.
You were not?
No. I was in Oman with Sean Connors and Doug Cossey.
That show had to have been for you, though.
I went to Puerto Rico. No, it wasn't. I went to Puerto Rico a long time ago with Jeff Banks.
No, Banks wasn't there. I hadn't rode with Banks.
No.
Man, I thought that was you there. I got some funny Sean Connor story, but...
That's fine. We had him on, and we were telling...
Yeah.
Did he tell
this Canadian transplant, or the guy that's going to Canada?
Yeah, he's in Canada now.
Yeah.
The
I
first
don't know if these stories are legally allowed to be told now that he's a married man.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It does change stuff.
I mean, Marisol, his wife's really girl. But
it's probably legitimate, but I would just go ahead and tell him, and then we'll figure it out later.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than whatever.
Permission.
That's the word. Yeah, just I used to call him. We'll cut the short story. I used to call him monthly and tell him, just wanted to let you know that you did bang the fattest girl in Puerto Rico. I used to give him monthly reminders.
Dude,
Marisol, if you ever see this, I'm very sorry.
I think that halfway came up when he was on the
No,
on the
that's
show,
not even.
and, like,
That's a different story. That was his MO for the first like couple of years of freestyle.
well, and somehow it came up, and he kind of cut it short, I think. And then his Canadian internet shut down
Yeah,
somehow.
because his wife was trying to watch it in the other room.
Like, that's it. Shut it down.
Yeah.
She's really cool, though. She probably would laugh at that
She
story.
started playing on the internet on her phone, on the iPad, on the laptop. She was just like,
and Xbox.
Playing
yeah.
movies.
She's like, I gotta shut this off. This can't go on.
Yeah, I could see that he was playing it easy on his version of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's been amazing run for sure.
Yeah.
Seems like it went by so fast though. Seems like it was just the other day. I was just a young kid in that little travel trailer you got from
Mid-State
RV
RV.
place?
Mid-State RV.
Mid-State RVs.
Yeah, they gave me a 43-foot travel trailer for a year.
It was so cool.
That was the sickest. That's when Jives jived me and made me bring my ramp and my travel trailer all the way to Sturgis. And then he would, because I was going to hire Logan to bring his ramp, and we were just going to bring travel trailer. And he's like, nope, we're going to go in Logan's backyard and we're going to do this, because they were having some kind of feud or something. And when I show up, Logan's riding his damn ramp over at the other fucking place.
Yeah, at Buffalo.
And then I got shorted on money, so I fucking had to spend money just to make it back home, because we didn't make shit on the show. It was all by tips. And I made $600 myself. Fuck, we drank more than $600 each. But I went to Sturgis.
Yeah, it was worth it. I would go back for free right now.
It was a good time. Yeah, for free.
I would do it. I would go ride that show for free right now. It was so fun.
You're hired.
Yeah. You're looking for any more non-riders to go to that show? I'm in.
Sturgis, you're looking for riders?
Yeah. For free, just beer. I tell you what, that would work out. Give me lodging and alcohol.
Alcohol, a little bit of greenery. Backstage, the Kid Rock.
This is going to be Clint's most expensive show ever. It's like no one did anything. I spent $5,000.
Yeah.
We had some insane times. The problem is we didn't record any of it, and we didn't write any of it down.
That's a good thing.
All the memories suck. But we could have had a book, a movie, a TV series, a reality show, all of those combined.
Only because normal people's lives are so boring.
It's insane, Drew. Travis watching that.
See, Travis is like, I should have just kept riding.
100%.
I try to talk him into doing shows with me all the time.
He was right there. So everybody, Travis, like I said, was in the backyard shredding mini bikes, and he and Ray came out, and Travis was the good one. And then he just got hurt, and then he was like, I think he got the family pressure that everybody gets when they break something.
Yeah.
And then,
broke his arm.
And
my dad was like, boy, you better get a job. Better get the fuck out. I had to pay for that. Remember that big truck I had? It was so stupid.
Oh, that truck was sick.
But it was dumb. That was a dumb thing to be doing. I should have just kept riding and started doing tricks. Ain't possible.
Yep.
Should have done it.
You might not have been famous, but we could have gone around the world and gotten fucked up.
Yeah. It would have just been worth the good times, you know?
Yeah, that's what people go, man, you've
good times.
You've been hurt a lot or whatever, and I'm like, totally all worth it. You know?
Absolutely.
At the point I'm at now, I'm still functioning, so like I'm not mad about any of it. I could be much worse off. What do you got, a Modelo?
Cheers to people with 2 people on the podcast.
Yeah, ha.
Clint, all solo.
Yeah,
I got Marley's here.
Yep.
Marley's
Okay.
right here. Hey, Marley. Look.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Look at we got.
Can't see your invisible dog. Here, get Randy in here.
Yeah.
Sorry for waking you up, Mark.
Dude, Harper ate it off his chair.
How is Delta, Travis? Do you love it?
No, I hate it. It sucks.
You better not say that. There would probably literally be hundreds of people to see this.
Yep.
A hundred
yeah,
of
well,
people.
That was amazing. Great play.
Oh, no. No, they're not listening. Every day's the worst. I've been there 10 years. Still look like a kid, though, so that's good. Everybody else is, looking bad.
What are the perks of your job? Do you fly anywhere? You
He
get
does.
super cheap tickets.
He flies everywhere, and he doesn't fly ever.
What do you get tickets for? Like $55 or something?
No, just tax.
Yeah, just pay the taxes on it.
Talk trash from I gotta take Chris.
Yeah, you just pay the taxes and you're on. Well, I mean, it's stupid, really. You just fly standby, like if they have a seat open.
Yeah, but you got like credentials, so you just drive into the underside of the fucking airport and take the secret elevator right up to your fucking gate. So what are you crying about?
Yeah. I wish I had that going on. Too low on the totem pole,
No way, you're the best employee. That email said it. You're employee
Nah,
of the month.
just a peon, Yeah, if you're high up, you get some cool, nice perks, but not the low guys.
You're peon employee of the month, though.
Yeah, a couple times now. A couple times.
Yo, you know who I want to have on the show? Chip.
What's that?
I want to have Chip on the show.
You gotta have Chip on the show.
Dude, you gotta phone a friend and call me when that happens.
I need to. I was thinking I did that one video where I talk like a redneck, commentating the quarter pipe.
Yeah.
I was thinking I could totally just have Chip talk as he watched something.
Just standard, normal.
That would be normal every day. He would be like, "God damn, man, look at this guy."
He, no joke, is a legit full-on blown redneck.
Oh, 100%. This dude was nuts. Oh my god, I could go on and on with legendary stories of this dude.
Throwing whips, just
running from the cops, going around spike strips, where he would just smoke the cops, and then they would just show up at his house and be like, "Look, dude, we knew it was you. Nobody else rides like that. You're going to jail." And they would take him to jail. I'm like, "Dude, fuck that. You can fight that."
Street bikes. He rode street bikes, and apparently, like, he was a bad dude on a dirt bike, and apparently he rode a street bike just the same way. And he, like, outran the cops and shit. He got caught with fucking... He was already a felon, I think. Had a fucking shotgun on his lap or something. Fucking...
Were you there when we went to his house and had that bonfire?
I don't know.
But it was not a bonfire. He ended up burning, like... Dude, the neighbors called the fire department. He ended up burning, like... We showed up thinking it was a bonfire. He had a stack of trees that had been taken down where they cleared a whole field. And this thing was like, I'm not kidding, probably 15, 20 feet tall by 100 foot long. And they lit it on fire, and it was like the biggest fire I've ever seen in my life. The fire department comes like, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're just having a fire in the backyard." You are out of your mind, dude.
Yeah. Go in the grocery store, rip burnouts for like at 100 miles an hour. Like go all the way, a few gears in on his sport bike. It's like in the grocery store though, in this flyback, fill it with snow. Dude, it was wild.
Yo, do you remember the track at Rockies when he first started riding with us again? I'm not sure you will, Travis, because I don't think you were riding with us. Austin was. Do you remember there was like those rollers on the bottom half of the track down by the wood line where you like, you know, you go by like the freestyle jumps, you make that left, and you'd come down the hill. Yeah, and there was those rollers. We were double through them. He tripled in. Like his first day he was there before he saw anybody. Okay, so the first time we're at the barn. I'm working with my parents in the barn. And this guy shows up and the neighbors like owned the property where the track was. And so we didn't really have any say. So this guy pulls in and parks and starts riding. And he's riding the track. And next thing you know, I look out, and I had probably 2 or 3 ramps out there at different gaps. And he just starts jumping everything. I look out, and they're totally, none of them are the same. They're different ramps. They're at different gaps. And he's just jumping everything. And I'm like, holy, who the fuck is this? So he rolls up to the barn, and he's like, hey, I used to ride here. Who owns the track? And I'm like, what? And he's like, I went away for a little while, this and that. And I'm like, well, the guy that owns the track is up there. I said, I own all those ramps. And he's like, well, can I jump them? And I was like, well, fuck, you already jumped everything. I mean, what the hell am I going to tell you now? You know? So it may have even been that day. So he said something about tripling that downhill thing, and I was like they're literally rollers. Even the first one didn't really have a lip on it. They were all pretty round. And you were going into it pretty fast just to like double through the thing. And he's like, I tripled it, something about what gear do you do that triple in? And I was like, what triple? And he's like, on these little downhill rollers. And I was like, I've thought about that a handful of times, and that's about as far as I've gotten. I don't know. He goes, nobody's ever tripled that? I was like, fuck no. I was like, what were you, like third wide open on a 450? And he was like, yeah, pretty much. No.
Wow. Woken baby.
Uh-oh.
So you guys are 2 men and a baby.
What?
You guys are 2 men and a baby.
Oh my god. Who's the baby? The baby was there the whole time, or what? She's asleep down the hall. You could just hear her crying or something. I didn't even hear it.
Not Austin.
Is that yours or his? No, it's his. That baby was there the whole time? Yeah. Oh yeah. She's been asleep.
Yeah. She was sleeping. She was just having a nightmare. Daddy.
Hey, Clint, do you remember where he said he landed, the first time he tried the ramp?
No, he never told me that.
And it was like a regular, 75 gap, right? This dude overshot it by 30 feet and landed flat. And I was like, oh my God, shit, what happened? He was like, nothing, just got a cut on my chin. And that was about it, yeah. And then I just looped around in center again. I was like, damn, you are so fucking. I would have been done. I'm not landing flat on the freestyle ramp and keep, just cut another lap.
That's what you got to do. You got to turn around and hit it. You know that on a motocross track. You go long or short, you better just turn around and hit it.
I can't withstand a flat landing on stock suspension on a freestyle ramp. I'm done.
The first show I took him to was at a motocross track, and they set us up in the start straightaway, which was all disked, so it was deep as hell. So we jump it in practice, and I want to say, okay, so in practice, we got it set up at 45 feet, right? So I'm like, just follow me over it. I'm just going to fucking cruise over the thing. We'll be good. We'll pull it back. So I'm putting my boots on. I'm just about ready, or putting my helmet on. And he goes, and I hear him go at it. And he goes, whoa. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I hope he didn't hit it. Because I'm under the wing of the landing. And I hear him hit the shit. The airbag's up and everything. So I can't see him hit the ramp. I just hear him hit it. And I was like, I hope he didn't hit the ramp like that. And I look over, down through the wing, because the wings were just expanded metal. And he goes, directly to the crease. like just sets his cases in the crease and just smokes his face off of the bars, right? So he goes into the crease and he bounces and he's just like up. And I was like, oh, he's good. And he just goes and falls all the way over. He knocked himself out on the initial impact and was just kind of straight. And it rode for a while and he fell over. He doesn't even remember crashing. This first hit in practice. We talk to him, wait like 10 minutes or whatever, do practice, and then go out in the show. And I'm trying in the show, they like re-disc the start straight, or everybody's been riding it, I guess, so it got super soft. So I like ride through the dirt a couple of times to like get myself a little packed down rut. And I finally ride through it like 3 times, and then I turn, I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump it. And I come off of the face, and I hear him directly behind me. And I'm like, I'm coming up short. So I fucking case the shit out of it. And he's behind me. All I hear is, he frame cases the front of the landing. Like that front knuckle. He just frame cases it and breaks his linkage off. And I roll to I land him right away. And Chip like makes it to the bottom of the ramp. It fucking like G's and then just drops to the ground. And then Gwendy's there yelling at him that he's got to go and all this. And I'm like, the fucking bike's broke. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Chip. Chip.
What are you doing? Who's Wendy?
If you want to do this, you got to go, Chip. Chip.
Chip. I've never seen any girl down a bottle of vodka like in one go, though. In one go. I can't even do a shot of vodka. She was like,
dude,
those just funneled down.
Those two are
then
legit
jumped in the pool. Jumped in the pool, didn't come back up. Chip slowly, like, empties his pockets. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? And he jumps in, saves her. And she's like, laughing. I'm like, what's going on?
We were there at her pool, that one day, but I don't remember her drowning.
Insane. We should have been filming the entire thing.
Yes, everything we should have.
Start with it. We'd be rich right now. Be great.
Oh, reality show.
Oh my gosh. You got to get Chip on that.
Yeah. Have you guys talked to him?
I haven't talked to him in years. Dude, the stories he used to tell me about being in jail were the fucking craziest stories I've ever heard in my life.
I drove around the country with that guy quite a bit, so I heard quite a bit of stories.
Dude, he told me some shit that I was just like, holy. I can't believe he made it out of that.
I can.
He said when he went in, he goes, all right. First guy that says anything to me, I'm hitting him as hard as I can. He said, so very first day he was in at lunch, he's standing in line, he's got his tray, and they're putting food on or whatever, and somebody cuts in front of him, and he goes, all right, and just cocks back, he said, and just blasts that guy in the face as hard as he could. And some big fucking skirmish in the fucking thing, he said, people didn't really fuck with him after that.
He was telling me that one time they were like, the jail they were in was like some piece of shit crazy jail that had this one section that was like lower below ground through these long hallways that were no cameras, super dark. And he said he was walking through there one day. I forget what he told me, but he got jumped by like 6 dudes, and they were just beating shit out of him in the middle of this dark alleyway in the middle of a basement of a jail. Yeah. I was like, well, that sounds absolutely terrible, Chip. I don't want any part of that. He's like, yeah, man, just don't ever go there. That's a terrible job.
Okay, so one of my favorite stories from him in jail is, or prison, I guess there's a difference. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's in whichever one you go to for an excessive amount of time. He was in for like 4 years. So he said that he went into the break room and there was some dudes watching. Now, he's a white dude. He's got a bunch of tattoos. He goes in there and there's some black dudes sitting there all the way to his neck.
FTP across his chest.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
He says there's some black dude sitting in the break room watching basketball, and the X Games was on, and he walks in and he says, "Hey," he goes, "You guys watch basketball?" Or he said, "Can we put X Games on?" And they're like, "Yeah, right, whatever." And he goes, "You guys watch basketball every fucking day," and he said, "I just want to watch this," and they gave him some shit. So he ends up brawling with like 2 or 3 dudes. Like, he goes, they beat the fuck out of me, but in the end, they let me watch X Games. He says, so I sat on the couch, just bloodied, with like black eye, and his lip was fucking. But he was like, I got to watch X Games.
Holy shit! What a guy! He was nuts.
Terrible! What a terrible world to live in. Going to jail or prison.
Yeah. You know, we need to have him on for sure.
We had some crazy shit happen through our group. Kyle dying, and it was wild. It got wild there for a little bit.
And Michael and Chris
Mike,
just being Chris.
Kyle.
And Chris is just Chris.
Well, Chris, Chaw Dog, Slaw Dog.
Same old deal. Chaw.
Dude, he's still jacked up.
Did he move back up to Georgia?
Yeah, he's here.
Him and Travis talk all the time.
No,
you guys hang out.
He talks to Chaw all the time.
You just like saying that.
Dude, you guys are boys. You grew up together. I understand.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a kid too? Oh,
yeah, he does have a kid. What is this? A kid?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He's married to a kid with a kid, right?
Basically,
yes. Yeah.
Basically.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Who are you looking at? Is there somebody there? Or are you looking at a clock?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a dirt bike race going on in the background.
He's fell asleep every single time and never got to watch whatever this is, the last round of the National.
Don't. It's a sad day for America. Don't do it.
Yeah, didn't need to. I saw what was coming, so I just said, fuck yes, I'm going to drink another one. Pass
There you
out.
go. Well, shit. I think we did our time here. I need to get up for work tomorrow.
2 hours, huh?
2 hours.
Is this the long
Yeah.
one so far?
Huh? No, we went over 2 hours a couple times.
Here we go.
Like Tom Parsons. Tom likes to talk.
Oh, yeah.
But this good, like,
Oh.
this was good conversation. The good ones always go long.
Let's hear a story from you, Nick. Haven't heard anything
haven't.
from you, really.
I have none.
Yeah, you got something. You can hit me with something.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Plus, like, I'm in my own house.
You got nothing?
I have none.
Like that.
This guy he can confirm none of them.
None of them. No. They don't have to be confirmable. They just have to be a story.
That's true.
I'm on spot. I don't have one. You can't just spring it on me like that.
All right, well, we'll do a repeat sometime. We'll do a Bromageddon podcast live.
Yeah, that sounds good. We need to get Travis in on a full one, too.
I know it.
I'm glad you made the end of this one, Travis.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Just walked into it, you know?
I knew old Delta Boy was coming home.
I didn't know what was going on.
Nope. I was going to text you, and I was like, I'll just let him walk in and be surprised.
Walked in.
That's good. So let's you were there. I was telling the story earlier about pulling into the house and having some little kids riding mini bikes in the backyard. And I come out and I'm like, your one friend was just fucking hucking and chucking Blake. And then I was like, you two guys ride big bikes. And you guys are like, yeah. What did you think then when I said you'd come down and jump some ramps and shit?
Oh, so stoked. But, you know, at the time, I hadn't even rode a big bike in like a year when that happened. I was just riding pit bikes. Had quit racing, just messing around.
Yeah.
So it was like the coolest thing ever, really.
Back in the day, they were shredding the fuck out of some 50s.
Yeah.
Travis had some big ass, like 20, 25 foot fucking doubles in the backyard.
Yeah, 10, 12 foot. Yeah, 10 foot takeoff.
They were huge.
12,
they were
15 foot.
as fast as a 50 would go
Yeah,
wide open.
Yeah.
Just straight.
It was get destroyed on a 50, fucking it up.
Yeah.
Dude still got it though. I ride with him all the time. He still got it. He could be in freestyle within 10 minutes. I tell him all the time. I said, if you ever want to learn some tricks, I'll teach you.
We don't even have a ramp to jump. I would.
Yeah,
I would
Georgia
learn
shut down, dude. There's
yeah, we got
nothing here.
Yo,
We got no cross.
Heather Williams is trying to get rid of a ramp.
Really? Where's she at these days?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming Georgia still. She actually just wrote Chuck trying to get rid of a ramp.
I'll hit her up. I used to ride with her every once in a while, actually. It was kind of weird. Diamondback?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably the ramp, that mellow ass motherfucker. You're gonna have to prop her with a 4x4.
That was so funny too about American ramps that like everybody built these same ramps, but everybody jacked them up.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what, even if you had the same bend of ramp, it's like, well, do you prop yours on a 2x4 or you go 4x4?
Yeah.
I bought a Harbor Freight level. I bought like a Harbor Freight little bubble eye level, and then it always just goes instantly to like the other side. Because I'm like, you crank it up till the level's completely out of the eye, and then you know it's good. Go fast.
Yep.
It never fucking works.
That's what Paul would do too. He'd be like, okay, it's 3 cranks on this crank on this jack, 3 cranks on this jack, and then 1.5 on this one, and 1.5 on this one, and then leave them. Don't touch them. That's the jump. That's how it is. That's all right, dude. You tell me how many cranks, I'll crank it. Yeah, might be. We need to do a big reunion ride.
Yeah, for sure.
Just trailing. I just want to have an OGO Camelback on and just Jack and Coke filled to the brim and just be hammered drunk riding in the woods.
Yo,
Let's do it.
We'll make some like cupcakes or whatever.
Okay.
We're all gonna fly in United or some shit or whatever he's on, right? Travis?
Yeah.
Ooh, boy,
Listen,
you paying full price.
Travis,
then.
we need 12 Delta tickets.
Delta. We need Delta tickets. We need all of them.
For all around the country.
Need a whole plane.
All right, I'll work on that.
Private jet.
Yeah, just get a plane to come around, pick us all up, and then
You
we'll
heard
be
it here
ready.
first. Travis has it lined up.
Yeah.
Shit,
Where are we
yeah.
going?
Fly
Trail
to it.
ride? Where's that?
Your backyard.
We're just flying to you. And then
Yeah.
we're going to trail ride with Jack and Cokes and our Camelbacks.
Oh,
There's some gnarly hill climbs here.
I'm a
I'm not kidding.
trail rider now.
Come on, you
Like,
guys ain't got no gnarly
I'm
hills.
really good.
Like, I seriously want to go sign up for like a hard enduro.
Yo, I rode...
I've been like rock hopping, going over logs. I'm doing the whole deal. Hill
We
climb.
heard about it. Austin was telling us how you can rip the fucking creek crossings and shit.
Oh yeah.
No,
Like
Travis...
that, he wasn't mocking you. He was
Travis
serious.
is no shit. We'll get on a track and lay down some fucking laps. Like whenever
He's
I rode
everything
with him,
fast.
he was like I could keep with him, but I started getting out of control and making a lot of mistakes. It was like just a little bit faster than I could do it consistently.
I'm the same way. I have to push when I ride with him. I'm pushing the limits, and he looks like he's just riding smooth.
Yeah, he is. That's just like this is what I say about Brody. Brody is riding at a level that's easy for him. It just happens to be super fucking gnarly. He just happens to be so talented that his like this is pretty easy is just like almost the best in the world.
Well, it definitely helps to have one of the gnarliest courses in your backyard.
Right, but
Then-
most people wouldn't
just like
build
what
that
Brody
because
says-
they're not that gnarly.
Do what?
Most people wouldn't build that because they're not that fucking gnarly.
Exactly. You go to Brody's, and to jump every jump out there is an accomplishment.
Fuck yeah.
You just feel so good about yourself when you jump every jump there. You're just like, yes.
And he's just tricking everything out there.
Oh yeah, easy
Like,
first
huge.
go. Yep. He's a bad dude.
His main ramp has like 3 feet of safety at the top, and it's like 8 feet wide at the top, and I'm like,
and it goes downhill like 60 fucking feet.
Yeah,
so if you waste it, you're gonna just go to the flats like so far down and get just.
I'm
clean.
like, why don't you put some safety on this thing? And he's like, because this way, whenever I go anywhere else, it's easier. And I'm like, yeah, but you're trying to learn shit. Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather have a big old landing to learn stuff too.
Here's one out to Jack Rowe retiring.
Yeah. I'm at
think about that. What?
Yeah. What do you do?
I don't know, because the kid can still ride.
Break his ankle
what did
or
he
something?
do? He broke something, right?
His ankle or his tib fib or something.
Something. It happens, dude. That's freestyle. You're gonna go down. It's just a matter of time.
The thing is
It's a matter of time, and then like your age, and then your circumstances in life. Like it puts you kind of like, because other people will be like, "Well, I'd fucking come back from that." It's like, well, you're not living in the same.
Yeah, and he just
that guy.
So he's got a 1-year-old daughter now. So it changes the whole
daughter too, man.
Yep. Same thing happened with me. As soon as I had my daughter, I was like, yeah, I'm not really about sending it anymore. I'm not trying to break myself off. I had a couple bad wrecks back to back that I was just like, I'm done getting wadded up.
Yeah.
Terrible feeling. When your arms just folded in half. It's just like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm done with those days.
I know. I
That's
didn't
what
even
I
have that,
said.
but I get it. Like, same thing. It's you just, I don't know. You get a kid, and then something happens, and it's like, fuck. I was just making it too, not making it, but doing shows and stuff where I thought I wanted to be, and then it's like, it's not worth it.
It's tough. It's tough work.
Yeah.
I figured out how to. Oh, there you go. I got both of you guys up now.
You?
Finally, pretty much over.
It still doesn't show me though.
Yeah, it does. The
now I'm switched over to the 420. 20 for all the listeners, local listeners.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you,
Dude,
Travis.
That's all we have in Grant Park. That's Doug Gore, my dad, is the top buyer of the Sweetwater 420. He is. We go to the bar, we buy it because can't get it at the fucking grocery store.
Tasty brew. What?
Travis, I went to South America, Guyana, and rode a 1,000-mile safari to the border of Brazil.
No way.
Yeah.
Clint, meaning to talk to you about this. I've been doing a lot of research on a long-distance journey ride through Asia.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to do it. I just need some people to do it with me that I want to ride with. We need to get Samo, because that motherfucker can build you a new carburetor out of a tree bark. Dude, he'd have his bike break down in the middle of the woods. We'd be hammered drunk. He'd be like, oh, all you gotta do is just take this tree right here and wind around this. I swear to God, he got his bike out every time. I'd be like, dude. Oh, yeah, it's just, yeah. But I want to do a long distance ride. If you're down, let's go.
Like how long? What are you talking?
I want to do like a 2 week straight, just long ride.
Let's do a rip to the tip or whatever that is.
I don't know what rip to the tip is, but let's
just
do it.
see it on TV. Everybody used to do it. Ox and everybody. Who else?
There's a couple documentaries that I watched.
That's a race, bro. We're not trying to race.
Dude, Long Way Down is awesome.
Yeah, Long Way Down.
How cool was that? I saw that and was
That
like,
was
these
cool.
don't I'm doing it.
Long Way Down, Long Way Round. Those are fucking really good.
Got the good promotional skills. He can easily say, oh, hey, KTM, hey, mister, we need some bikes.
Who, Ken?
You can. You're so good at it.
I actually.
This is all on you.
I see that. So actually, my trip that I did in Guyana, I filmed it, and I did like a 3-4 day video, like 3 different segments, one each day, or each like day or 2 days, and then I put it all together and I submitted it to a film festival, and it actually got accepted. So there's a film festival in New York that the movie will be shown at and shit.
Sick.
But it was like something I already had edited. I just added all the pieces together and then submitted it. I put a little voiceover at the very end, and that was it.
See, that's the part where I royally sucked in freestyle, was the advertising, the promotional stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not even that good.
Just emailing resumes. I still don't have a resume to this day.
Good. Fuck resumes.
I've been doing freestyle now for 10 years, and I have zero resume.
Yeah, of course. What do you need a resume for? Because
Get sponsors, anything else like that.
You know what it comes down to? Meeting people.
It is. It really is all who you know. And
you the right people. You should have been racing this MXGP in Florida this weekend. Just got to know the right guy.
Apparently.
Just for everybody on audio, Austin was filleting his beer.
You just threw me under the bus.
What do you mean?
Most of our get a Monster Jam show now.
Most of our listeners are audio.
You'll never do Monster Jam again. You're done in this business. You're done.
Yeah, we've all heard that.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta go to sleep.
All right, dude. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's been very good. Thanks for coming on. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
And Travis will have you on.
All right.
You'll become a cult figure. What did you think about MXGP?
MXGP was great.
It
was great. It was cool to see those dudes ride. You know.
Oh, did you go down too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was cool. I love European style. You know.
He loves moose can. Loves it.
I don't love moose can.
Marvin. So good. Marvin.
No. I'm just a big fan of really smooth, effortless. You know.
Which is not Marvin. He's not.
He comes up. He's got creative.
He's got his elbows straight down. He's got.
He might look crazy at times, but the dude has amazing.
Coming down like this.
Rocks. That's European style.
The
European style. Roxon has American.
They're all about.
Travis's favorite part about the MXGP was Hurling's hatchet-looking face mask.
Worst part about
it. They have
worst helmet styles ever. And Travis loves it.
I
want to wear pro grip gear. And
I will welcome Hurling and Caroli and all these dudes.
Tell me that Hurling style over that one jump that he did not look like a douche. Master.
When he was quadding the giant thing. You guys see that? That shit was crazy. He was just feeling it out. He was out of control going max speed. Oof. This dude was hauling ass, and Hurling's is the real deal.
Meanwhile, Crowley was just steezing over it, just perfect. Hello, CDs.
We don't get more.
Wearing CDs.
You were just trying to give Travis shit about being all pumped for Muskin style.
Crowley's the only one that I like.
It was gnarly, though. A lot of American flag, a lot of rednecks.
Do you love Caroli's grill? Do you love Caroli's grill, Austin?
No, that dude needs to get his teeth fixed for sure.
That wicked overbite? I don't know how he chews.
Run it.
He just, I saw him.
So you know it's real.
I never liked his riding ever before this. I saw him ride live in person, and he looked good. You can't deny that.
Who is it?
Caroli. Dude,
he's amazing.
Flying.
They do not take their feet off the pegs.
Yeah,
pretty much any time. It's all about just being fluid. It's amazing. I like it. I'm a fan. I think if we could mix that with the American flair, ultimate.
No,
we're seeing that right now.
All we need is another Ricky Carmichael or James Stewart, Jeremy McGrath. We need one of those three to come back and just.
Stewart's done. He's done. He's not coming back.
Yeah, Stewart's not coming back, unfortunately.
We're just gonna have to accept that.
What a piece of shit move on his part.
No,
You're gonna post that picture of your dialed bike shadows looking so cool, like, hey, this is coming soon, and then you're just gonna not say anything and never show up.
He's gonna bequeath the
He
number
just had
7
a
to
kid.
somebody.
He's a millionaire and shit.
I don't care. You at least put out a statement and say, look, I got a kid, I'm done.
One of 2 human beings that exist to go undefeated.
Because he's bad as
He
shit.
gets to do whatever. He's done.
We need to add the Austin and Travis show. I like this.
Yeah. We just
He
need
proved
to
he deserves.
listen. We're gonna do a like a race season preview, and we're gonna call you guys, and we're just gonna talk shit on everybody.
Do it. Let's do it.
Man,
Maybe we'll call Robbie Marshall in too.
yeah, before Straight Rhythm or Monster Cup, let's do it.
Robbie Marshall shows up. Hey, fucking guys, we'll be all fucking Boston out, fucking screaming at everybody.
That's
Like,
fun.
Dude, how many people can you get in one call, Clint?
I don't know. The problem is that
Everybody talks to everybody.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but I can just mute you, motherfuckers. So
Just allow
What
some section
What
to
you
talk.
talking about?
Like, okay, you're live. Go.
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe.
Wait, you're just gonna mute me?
Yeah.
What did you say? What?
Nope.
Remove
What did you say?
from
What,
group.
talking? Anybody talking right now?
It says remove from
Wait,
group.
what? Clint, are you talking or am I talking?
You're about to get removed from the
Don't mute
group.
me anytime.
Removed.
That's it. Do it
My
again.
phone's going dead.
Do it again.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
I'll remove you from this group so fucking fast. All
Cheers,
right.
boys.
Cheers. Everybody. Good to see you, Travis. Drink with you.
You too, Clint.
And we'll do it again. We'll do some race reviews.
Yeah, let's do a race review season.
I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, for Monster Cup and Straight Rhythm.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do
That's
one.
coming soon, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think October, both of them. At least that's what they were last time.
Is the destination first?
You know, we don't really pay that much attention to anything. We just get on the internet and talk shit.
So I can talk shit about
We're
Euros.
going out.
It's before
People
Monster
oh
Cup.
no, they're good. They're awesome. They're
Tell me
good.
on my- Somebody's touching me on my phone. No?
No.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is going on? Dude, you lost us.
All right, boys.
All right.
Well,
Now that everybody's confused, we're going to shut her down.
this is a great shutdown point.
Next time, let's
Everybody,
get this drunk before we start.
thanks
Yes.
for listening. Hey, Motion Pro, Emotocons,
Motion Pro, I'm still riding.
Two Wheels of Freedom, Sharper Holmes, Waylon Jennings, apparently. Over here in this
Talk about
picture.
my designs.
What was his alter ego?
There wasn't Waylon Jennings.
No.
It was,
Yeah. What is it? Chris Gaines?
Chris Gaines.
We want to thank Chris Gaines.
I'll do what I can.
Does
Honestly,
Waylon
Chris
Jennings
Gaines.
have a emo alter ego? He
Yeah, I think it
doesn't,
was.
pussy.
Dirty Randy. Don't forget Dirty Randy.
Yeah, Randy. What's up? Randy.
Sporting dog.
There
oh,
you
yeah.
go.
Drinking that beer. Oh, yeah. Love what's going on here.
My dog's straight edge. She don't want none of that shit.
Ricky's an alcoholic.
All right. We're really shutting her off this time.
All right, boys.
All right. Good seeing you, Clint.
Later.
Guys, later.